My name is Blake, Sterling Blake. I was born in New York at the dawn of the 20th century. 6 feet tall, dark brown hair, blue eyes, and I always carry a pack of Chesterfields, a habit from another time. My favorite cocktail? It is the Mary Pickford. A touch of rum, a slice of pineapple, a drop of grenadine, and just a whisper of Grand Marnier. Women, airplanes, and beautiful cars, those are my passions. But above all, I love the unknown. Discovery and adventure. I've traveled the 4 corners of the world chasing the stories that shaped this century. I've met the good and the wicked, the brave and the cowardly, the patriots, the dictators, the stars, the powerful, and the forgotten. White, black, yellow, rich or poor, I've met them all. I've been part of their lives and their world. From Classic Cool Studio, this is RetroStory, a passport to the past where every sound and every frame tells a story. Today, we're traveling back to China 1930s. This is the Paris of the East, Shanghai mist over the Bund.
RetroStory, your passport to the past. Journey through time, from city lights to ancient nights. RetroStory, your passport to the past.
From the very beginning of the 1930s, the world developed an appetite for distant horizons. Across Europe, colonial exhibitions drew vast crowds. In America, pulp novels transported readers from the Great Plains to the African jungle and straight toward the east, that shimmering frontier where imagination ran faster than the steamships that crossed the Pacific. Travel had become easier, and a handful of cities rose like dreams on the map. Places of commerce and danger, of jazz and opium, of neon nights and whispered promises. And above all others stood one city, a magnet for adventurers and outcasts, for tycoons, fugitives, gamblers, artists, missionaries, and spies. A city where no one asked too many questions, where passports mattered less than nerve, and where a man could reinvent himself between sunset and dawn. That city was Shanghai. I arrived there on November 28, 1931, after boarding the SS President Hoover in San Francisco. The Pacific crossing felt almost unreal, a slow drift from the new world into the old, until the skyline of the Bund rose through the mist like a painted set. I returned many times during that turbulent decade, but nothing ever replaced the shock of that first encounter. This is the memory I carry with me. Every year, thousands of wealthy Westerners poured into Shanghai, hungry for adventure or for the forbidden pleasures that had earned the city 2 nicknames: the Paris of the East and the New Sodom and Gomorrah of Asia. Anything seemed possible here. Everything had a price. And by the early 30s, more than 3.5 million souls lived inside this feverish metropolis controlled, in large part, by the foreigners who called themselves the Shanghai Landers. They numbered 30,000, businessmen and bankers, clerks and traders, missionaries and soldiers, all living inside an opulent bubble where leisure ruled the day. Tennis courts in the morning, horse trails in the afternoon, cocktails at 5, champagne by nightfall. They lived in villas tended by chauffeurs, gardeners, cooks, and bodyguards. Their wives, equally pampered, entrusted their households to Chinese maids known as amas. After the Opium War, the British had carved out a powerful enclave. The Americans and Japanese soon joined them in what became the international settlement. To the south lay the French concession, a world of its own with restaurants, cinemas, gambling halls, racetracks, and the darker corners of the night trade. 50 nationalities mingled here: English and Americans, French and Japanese, Russians fleeing the revolution, and later German and Austrian Jews escaping the rise of Nazism. It was a universe built on a strict social pyramid, yet a wealthy Chinese elite flourished in its shadows, often connected to the secret societies that truly govern the streets. Shanghai was a city of desire and a city of desperation. 150,000 prostitutes served every taste. The highest priced luxury was a Chinese virgin. Another specialty drew crowds of men from every continent. White prostitutes, often young Russian women, daughters of aristocrats ruined by war and revolution. Many worked as taxi dancers. Too many ended in places far darker. Their brothers, unable to find work, survived as cabaret performers, singers, knife dancers, or hired bodyguards. And behind every alley, in every district, hung the unmistakable scent of opium. The Green Gang controlled its trade. The French authorities maintained a quiet arrangement. The gang helped keep order, and in exchange, the streets of the concession became their marketplace. One of their officers, Wang, even held a position inside the French police. But towering above them all was one man, Du Yuesheng, better known as Big Ears Du.
This is how we remember the past.
He was the Al Capone of Shanghai, only richer, more connected, and far more respected.
We must remember.
He ran opium, gambling, and prostitution, and held official posts in the police, the mayor's office, and even city administration. He helped Chiang Kai-shek crush the communists in 1927, earning himself a general's rank. His residence in the French concession became the crown of his empire. By 1931, Du stood at the peak of his power, described in the city's directories as a philanthropic businessman and the most influential figure of the concession. One evening at the French Club, I met two men I would never forget. The first was Maurice Two-Gun Cohen, Russian-born, English-educated, Canadian adventurer, gambler, boxer, pilot, and sometimes smuggler. He wore tuxedos or cream-color suits with twin revolvers crossed beneath his jacket. Unlike the polished gentlemen of the clubs, Cohen moved among the alleys and waterfronts, tied to soldiers, gangsters, and informants. He became the trusted bodyguard of Sun Yat-sen, and some whispered, a discreet agent of the British Crown.
I have been expecting you.
The second was Sir Victor Sassoon, millionaire heir of a Baghdad Jewish dynasty and one of the great builders of Shanghai. He dreamed of transforming the Bund into a second Manhattan, filled with skyscrapers of steel and stone. He erected hotels, cinemas, restaurants, and his famous racetrack, where the elite gathered for the Shanghai Grand Prix. It was during one of those evenings that I encountered the French journalist Albert Londres, who confided that he had delivered explosive documents to the American consulate, evidence of collusion between certain French officials and the Green Gang. At night, I often visited the Great World, a vast palace of entertainment where each floor rose like a promise, and each promise led to greater danger. But beneath the glitter, a darker current gathered strength. Japan had taken Manchuria and now turned its attention to Shanghai. Anti-Japanese protests erupted. Tensions thickened like the fog in the Huangpu River. Japanese ships collected in the harbor. The Air Force circled overhead. Soldiers gathered near the concessions. The city held its breath. On the evening of January 28, 1932, after long negotiations, the Shanghai municipality agreed to Japanese demands. But that night, the first bombs fell. Aircraft roared over the rooftops. Ground troops clashed with the 19th Army. British, American, and French regiments rushed to defend their sectors. Warships waited in the river as families fled their homes and tried to reach the concessions for safety. The situation was turning fast, and the morning would bring more shells and more smoke. It was time to take the first ship home and leave the mist over the Bund behind us. Yet nothing in my life ever matched that vision of Shanghai in the 30s. A world balanced between elegance and violence, pleasure and peril, modern lights and ancient shadows. A world where history moved at the speed of a rickshaw, then at the pace of a storm. And somewhere in that storm, the heart of the 20th century was already beating. This is Sterling Blake for the Classic Cool Broadcasting Company, signing off from Shanghai.
Through the trembling lantern light, the harbor breeze again. A violin drifts softly like a whisper in the rain. Sterling walks the shoreline where the shadows start to bend. Shanghai holds its secrets and they never truly end. In the hush of evening tides, a gypsy chord slowly glides. Shanghai, mist over the Bund, where every story lingers in the air, deep and undone. Shudua, but Shanghai, quiet and divine, where the gypsy strings wander through a jasmine night. Barushua, softly in Shanghai. Sous la brume argentée, les pas se font légers. Les ruelles frissonnantes ont des airs de passé. Les grandes oreilles veillent au coin des vieux trottoirs. Et le destin s'esquisse dans un souffle du soir. Un accord de guitare flotte dans le vent, comme un rêve perdu très doucement. Shanghai danse avec la nuit, un mystère à chaque porte, une promesse à demi. Mbalou, Shulai, Shanghai. Shanghai, silky and slow, where the gypsy love melodies drift soft and low. Do I, but I, Shanghai. Then falls like a sigh. city lies dreaming beneath the pale sky, and Sterling follows footprints where danger feels warm, through alleys of perfume, illusion, and storm. Shanghai, mist over the Bund, where the night keeps its memories tangled and spun. Shoo, but I saw Shanghai. Shanghai, fragile and grand, where the gypsy chords wander like ghosts over land. La la, shoe died in Shanghai.